Hello everyone, Irish Warlock here, and welcome to part 2 of our Star Trek Resurgence Let's Play. We'll be picking things up from where we last off. As Commander Jara, we've just joined the crew of the USS Resolute, which a few months ago went through a pretty bad situation. Lost quite a bit of crew in an experiment drive, including their former first officer. And as Petty Officer Carter, we are currently doing a spacewalk to do a little bit of repairs, which is where we're going to be picking things up. We are also on our way to a place called the Hitari sector, where we are going to be doing a bit of diplomacy, peacekeeping mission, and on the way we'll be picking up a very important diplomat. And I think everyone has a bit of an idea who that is, so let's get started. And we're picking these up right now with this chapter here.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
And we're going.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
Okay, for a second I thought she was talking about an actual person.
All I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
I am more than that. And so are you. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Okay.
Getting recalibration.
Let's go. Move tool with R and tune node. Oop.
Careful. Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
Okay. Yeah, some people I've seen reviews saying like they're not mad about the little mini games, and even though we're not that far, and I kind of got to agree with it. They're a little basic and a little tedious, but story and characters so far I'm liking, and as I said, for these kind of games, that's what comes first for me. Yeah, that's what I should be doing. Well, that took a lot longer than it was meant to.
That wasn't so hard.
But that's more on me, not the game.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
That's impressive.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This
Bit
is a
sarky.
research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer. given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
Ooh, what's that?
You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
Thanks for your concern.
That's
not gonna
very
get to me.
kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
I could never fill his shoes.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities all over the ship.
Estimate.
Red alert.
Red alert!
Aye. Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
Wait, there's a...
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
No, I'm gonna go to Science Officer.
Commander Westbrook, use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed. It's going to be tight.
Good. Send the pulse on my command. Now.
Oh, God, I hope this works.
We got it. This is it.
All hands, brace for impact.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
That can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Alright. Done. Oh, not done.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
And just swap them all around.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
A quick phaser, L2 to A, R2 to fire. Cool. Got it. I mean, that went down pretty easily, didn't
So
it?
we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Are you even shooting any of them? Or is it just oh, there's one. Whoa! That was close. Ah! Oh.
Are you alright?
Yeah. So took most of it. Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%.
Okay, so I can take 3 hits. That's
We're almost to the regulator.
not good. Just double check behind me. Okay, there we are.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
Yeah, don't worry.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
Okay.
The EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance.
Ah, that was easy.
Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chobot can...
I might have spoken a bit too soon.
Get down!
Oh! I was...
Diaz to bridge! docking clamp.
Not paying enough attention there.
We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us. Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
I'm not abandoning the
We
crew.
have crew outside and are looking for the
We have
safest way
people
to...
on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? This isn't your call to make. Blow the...
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order.
Trust me.
Jara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
No.
Is the hold
Reverse the polarity. Say.
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are... Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Ah, no.
2,
Oh,
1.
Jesus.
Grab my hand. I got you.
Thank you.
Use the transporter, goddammit.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Come on. Come on. Push, goddammit.
Look out!
I got you. Petty Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. It has come to my attention that you are at risk of triggering a
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Going there now. I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this.
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
Oh! Oh, I hope that was meant to happen.
We made it.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Dang.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off.
Ooh.
Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good. You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
I think I'm in trouble.
You disobeyed my orders. Well?
It was the right decision.
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Oh, I'm gonna stand my ground. You didn't have the facts.
Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order. But you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to, you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Play it diplomatically. Thank you for understanding.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will.
Right, don't be a kiss ass. Come on.
Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir. All departments reporting full mission readiness. All departments reporting full mission readiness.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar. That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me?
Engage, come on.
Engage.
Simple, but effective.
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look fine.
Ooh, let's see how bad I'm doing. Okay, it's in the red, so
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Commander, help me get her inside.
oh damn.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your deridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
Rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the deridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet, and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
It's who I am.
I know what it means. And I know the responsibility that comes with it. But I can't be anything more than who I am. And if someone has a problem with that, or expects something else, then that's their problem, not mine.
That's exactly right. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional
Oh,
opinion
okay.
is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. The breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take. People become blinded by their own ambition. I've seen it happen before.
I won't let that happen.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the grid. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay. I didn't want to intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here. We were all worried about you. Or I should say I was. I wasn't sure what was happening at first. But then I realized it was your condition.
No one needs to worry.
I don't want anyone to worry about me. I'm gonna be just fine. This is part of who I am, but I've never let it define me.
I get that now. And I promise I'll try not to let being such a jerk define me either. You trusted my intuition earlier, with the deflector pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
Well, thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times to see you already. Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
Can't get rid of me?
Ah, come on, you know you can't get rid of me that easy.
Don't push me, Diaz. You do not want to see me try.
No, nope. I am not getting on your bad side.
I am a formidable enemy. Millie was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse, leaving it unsaid.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Yeah, why not?
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Okay, I think that is the end of this video, but let's just quickly go through and see what everyone thinks. So for Jara, Captain Solano's fury over having his orders defied was compounded by Jara's continued rebellious attitude and stubborn opposition to his leadership, leaving him questioning his choice of first officer. I don't really care, because I don't like him. Lieutenant Bedrosian admired Jara's instincts to protect the crew when Starbase ordered her to disengage the docking clamps, and she thought highly of Jara's efforts to explain the complexity of the situation to Captain Solano. And she was relieved when Jara defied Captain Solano's orders and made her own command decision in the moment. Good. So this weirdo, Commander Westbrook, felt ashamed of his behaviour and was put by Jara's resilience when he saw her outside of sickbay. I'm still not sure how to feel about this guy. He's definitely a bit weird. Commander Ermot was glad Jara's first instinct was to protect the crew when Starbase ordered her to disengage the docking clamps. When he appreciated Jara's efforts to explain the complexity of the situation to Captain Solano. Commander Ermot respected Jara's rational approach when she defied Captain Solano's orders and refused to put the crew on the hull at risk. Dr. Duval was impressed by Jara's sense of responsibility to the crew and was encouraged to see her thinking independently when she defied Captain Solano's orders. Lieutenant Commander Chovak did not approve of Jara's unwillingness to follow protocol when she defied Captain Solano's orders to blow the bolts off the docking clamps. Yeah, that's nothing's really going to change with that. That's pretty standard. And yeah, we only haven't interacted with him since, so that's not changed. Ed said I was grateful when Carter put her safety ahead of his own on the hull. Miranda was thrilled to learn Carter's feelings for her tend towards the romantic, and she looks forward to seeing where this relationship might go. Lieutenant Commander Chovak found Carter to be respectful and responsible when he and Ed were late for main engineering. Yeah. Okay then, so that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed what you've seen, do leave a like, a comment, or subscribe to the channel to stay updated for when part 3 will come out, which should be early next week. Until then, see you all next time.